were there some things, Bill, that they just wouldn't go along with?
Well, there were some things they didn't know about that we did in the film.
Before Stripes, Bill Murray was just another funny guy chasing a dream. After, he was Untouchable, a comedy legend. But here's the twist. It almost didn't happen. A script meant for Cheech and Chong, a chaotic set with real military tanks. And one bold choice turned chaos into a classic. This is the untold story of how Bill Murray became the Bill Murray. Imagine a world where Stripes, the 1981 comedy classic, didn't star Bill Murray. Hard to fathom, isn't it? For over 4 decades, this film has been a go-to for quotable lines and rebellious laughs, but it was almost a completely different beast. A stoner comedy built for Cheech and Chong. Yes, the iconic duo known for their hazy, counterculture antics were the original stars of this military romp. So what went wrong? How did a film meant for psychedelic gags end up as a sharp, sardonic satire led by Murray and Harold Ramis? And what hidden choices shaped its legacy? Let's peel back the curtain on a story that even die-hard fans might not know, diving into a twist that made Stripes a timeless gem. Picture the late 1970s. Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong were comedy royalty, riding high on the success of Up in Smoke. Their brand of humor, wild, irreverent, and often clouded in smoke, was a cultural phenomenon. Director Ivan Reitman, fresh off his hit Meatballs, had a bold idea: put these two in Army boot camp. The concept, born en route to the Meatballs premiere, was simple yet genius. Cheech and Chong joined the Army. Writers Len Blum and Dan Goldberg crafted a script packed with surreal sequences, including a rumored psychedelic trip in South America, designed to showcase the duo's signature chaos. It was a perfect fit for their fan base, promising a clash between their free-spirited vibe and the rigid military world. But here's the first twist. The deal fell apart. Cheech and Chong's manager loved the script, but the duo demanded complete creative control, a demand Paramount Pictures wasn't ready to meet. With the project in limbo, Reitman made a daring move. He turned to Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, two rising stars from Saturday Night Live and Second City Television. Could this new duo salvage a film? The answer would change comedy history. Enter Bill Murray, a comedic force whose improvisational genius became the heartbeat of Stripes. Unlike the broad, stoner humor plan for Cheech and Chong, Murray brought a sharper, more subversive edge. His character, John Winger, wasn't just a slacker. He was a sly rebel who mocked authority with a knowing smirk. Murray's ad-libs transformed the film. Take the scene where the recruits share their backstories. His absurd tale of stealing a cow was entirely unscripted, catching his co-stars off guard and sparking genuine laughs. Or consider the Aunt Jemima treatment moment with PJ Sauls, shot at 3 a.m., where Murray's spontaneous lines left Sauls reacting naturally, creating a scene that's still quoted today. These weren't just funny bits. They redefined the film's tone, making it less about gags and more about witty defiance. Murray's ability to think on his feet turned Stripes into a comedy that felt alive, unpredictable, and smarter than its peers. But what if he hadn't been cast? Would the film have faded into obscurity like so many other 80s comedies? While Murray was the spark, Harold Ramis was the glue. As Russell Ziske, the soft-spoken teacher who joins the Army out of loyalty to his friend, Ramis brought a quiet brilliance that balanced Murray's chaos. At the time, Ramis was better known for writing hits like Animal House and Caddyshack, but his acting role in Stripes was a game-changer. His understated humor, think subtle glances or perfectly timed pauses, gave the film emotional depth. When Murray's Winger mouthed off to Sergeant Hulka, Ramis' Ziske was there, playing the straight man with a knowing calm that made the comedy land harder. Their real-life friendship, forged through years at Second City, added authenticity to their on-screen bond. Ramis didn't just react. He elevated every scene, making Stripes more than a string of jokes. It became a story about friendship and resilience. Without Ramis, would the film have had the same heart? It's hard to imagine. The success of Stripes didn't just cement its place in comedy history. It launched Bill Murray into the stratosphere. With an 88% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a $22 million profit, the film was a hit, praised by critics like Roger Ebert for its anarchic charm. Offers flooded in, including one from Clint Eastwood. In a 2025 interview on The Howard Stern Show, Murray revealed that Eastwood pitched a Navy-themed action comedy set during World War II, likely Heartbreak Ridge. Fresh off Stripes, Murray worried about being typecast in military roles in past, a choice he now calls one of his few regrets. He mused about the great death scene he might have had, a nod to Eastwood's knack for crafting memorable psychic roles. This missed opportunity highlights how pivotal Stripes was, not just for his laughs, but for shaping Murray's career. What might have been if he'd said yes to Eastwood? Fresh off the runaway success of Stripes, which raked in over $85 million at the box office, Bill Murray stood at a crossroads that could have reshaped his career. Hollywood was buzzing, and among the flood of offers came one from none other than Clint Eastwood, a titan of the industry. Eastwood had his sights set on Murray for a bold military comedy, rumored to feature sprawling set pieces and a blend of action and humor, possibly set in a wartime era. The project promised to be a blockbuster, a chance to work with a legend and flex new acting muscles. But Murray, still basking in the glow of playing the rebellious John Winger, hesitated. Another military role. So soon after Stripes felt like a trap, one that could lock him into a single persona. He craved variety, the freedom to surprise audiences with unexpected choices. So he passed. Years later, in a candid 2025 interview, Murray's voice carried a rare hint of regret. Working with Clint would have been something special, he said, musing about the missed chance to explore a different side of his talent. It's a decision that lingers as one of Hollywood's great what-ifs. Could a collaboration with Eastwood have taken Murray's career in a bold new direction? While Murray grappled with his future, the production of Stripes was unfolding with an unlikely partner, the U.S. Army. In a twist that feels straight out of the film's own playbook, the military threw its weight behind a comedy that gleefully mocked its rigid structure. They didn't just offer support, they rolled out tanks, helicopters, and even opened the gates of Fort Knox for filming. Why would the Army back a satire of itself? In the early 1980s, with the draft long gone and the all-volunteer force still finding its footing, they saw Stripes as a golden opportunity. The film's lighthearted take on Army life, they believed, could paint service as adventure, drawing in young recruits during a post-Vietnam slump. Screenwriter Daniel Goldberg later reflected, "The Army support made it really easy for us to get troops during filming. It just took away any kind of negativity." This collaboration lent Stripes an authenticity that elevated its humor. Scenes of recruits bumbling through drills against a backdrop of real military hardware made the satire sharper, the laughs louder. But how did the Army miss the film's subversive edge? That question still puzzles fans today. With the military's resources at their disposal, the cast and crew dove into filming, but the set was anything but disciplined. Bill Murray's improvisational genius turned every scene into a high-wire act. The script was more suggestion, with moments like Winger's absurd cow-stealing story, completely unscripted, leaving co-stars like Harold Ramis and John Candy fighting back laughter. These bursts of spontaneity birthed some of the film's most iconic lines, but they came at a cost. Takes were often derailed by giggles, stretching shooting days into the night. Director Ivan Reitman thrived on this chaos, encouraging his actors to push boundaries, but studio executives weren't as thrilled. They worried the film's irreverence might alienate the very military that opened its doors, or worse, flop with audiences. Reitman, ever the diplomat, navigated these tensions, balancing creative freedom with the need to keep the project on track. Amid the mayhem, something special emerged, lifelong friendships. The cast shared laughter and late-night shoots forged bonds that outlasted the production, mirroring the camaraderie that shines through on screen. Could this chaotic energy have been the secret sauce behind Stripes' enduring charm? Not every moment film made it to the final cut, and some omissions left fans wondering what might have been. A significant cut involved a deeper romantic arc between Murray's John Winger and Stella, played by P.J. Sauls. In the original footage, their relationship wasn't just a flirtatious side note. It had weight, showing Winger's softer side as he opened up about his fears and search for purpose. These scenes offered a glimpse into a more vulnerable hero, a man whose sarcasm masked a deeper longing for connection. But to keep Stripes lean and laugh-packed, the filmmakers trimmed these moments, prioritizing pace over depth. It was a choice that cemented the film's identity as a comedy classic, but left behind a version of Winger that could have added emotional heft. What would Stripes have been with this richer character study? That question lingers for fans who crave a peek at the cutting room floor. What if Stripes had taken a wild detour into the jungles of South America, with Bill Murray and Harold Ramis tripping on LSD to escape rebel captors? That's a real sequence, a leftover from the film's original Cheech and Chong vision, was filmed but ultimately cut by director Ivan Reitman. Available now in the extended cut. It promised a bizarre adventure that clashed with the sharp, grounded satire Stripes became. Another trimmed subplot explored a tender romance between Murray's John Winger and PJ Saul Stella, revealing a softer side to the sarcastic slacker. These cuts weren't just edits. They shaped the film's identity, keeping its rhythm tight and its humor accessible. Could a trippier, more emotional Stripes have captured hearts the same way? The choice to streamline the story turned a quirky idea into a comedy classic that still resonates. By slicing away the psychedelic and introspective, Stripes became a showcase for Bill Murray's unique genius. His portrayal of John Winger, a quick-witted rebel-dodging authority, marked a turning point. Before 1981, Murray was a standout in ensemble hits like Caddyshack, sharing the stage with comedy giants. But Stripes put him front and center, proving he could carry a film with his deadpan charm and improvisational flair. Scenes like his unscripted cow-stealing story or the Aunt Jemima treatment moment with Saul's showcase his ability to blend humor with humanity. This breakout role led to Ghostbusters in 1984, a global hit that grossed nearly $300 million, cementing Murray as a leading man. His confidence grew, pushing him toward diverse roles in films like The Razor's Edge, a bold but less successful dramatic venture. Did Stripes unlock Murray's potential to redefine comedy? His career trajectory suggests it did. Beyond launching Murray, Stripes rewrote the rules of military comedies. Unlike earlier films that celebrated discipline or heroic redemption, this one embraced misfits who joined the army on a whim, broke, aimless, and allergic to authority. John Winger wasn't chasing glory. He was escaping a dead-end life. His ragtag platoon, including characters played by John Candy and Judge Reinhold, stumbled through drills with zero interest in medals. This focus on flawed, relatable characters over patriotic tropes struck a chord, especially in the post-Vietnam era when skepticism about the military ran high. The film's mix of slapstick and sly satire, think Murray's deadpan jabs at bureaucracy, set it apart from the era's broader comedies like MASH. By prioritizing friendship and individuality, Stripes influenced a generation of films. Could its irreverent spirit have sparked the likes of Police Academy? The parallels are hard to ignore. The legacy of Stripes stretches far beyond its 1981 release, earning an 88% Rotten Tomatoes score and a lasting fan base. It redefined buddy comedies by balancing humor with heart, a formula echoed in hits like Lethal Weapon and Ghostbusters. The natural chemistry between Murray's Winger and Ramis' Ziski, rooted in their real-life friendship, broke the mold of rigid comic straight man dynamics. This authentic bond inspired filmmakers to craft stories where relationships drive the laughs, as seen in Office Space and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Even today, soldiers quote lines like "That's the fact, Jack," on bases worldwide, a nod to the film's cultural staying power. In 2021, for its 40th anniversary, Stripes returned to theaters with a special introduction from Murray and Reitman, proving its timeless appeal. How did a comedy about army misfits become a cultural touchstone? Its blend of rebellion and sincerity hold the answer. To glimpse the man behind the myth, consider Bill Murray's life off-screen. With a net worth of roughly $180 million, he lives with the same eclectic flair he brings to his roles. His car collection includes a Chrysler LeBaron convertible, seen in St. Vincent, alongside a Maserati Biturbo and a rugged Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. Real estate holdings span Los Angeles, Massachusetts, and a former Sneden's Landing estate, listed in 2024 for $3.7 million, nestled in celebrity enclave. Murray's business ventures include stakes in minor league baseball teams like the St. Paul Saints and co-ownership of Murray Brothers' Caddyshack restaurant in Florida. Known for wearing two watches at once, as spotted akin He embodies quirky independence. His savvy investments and philanthropy teach a key lesson. Success comes from diversifying talents and staying true to oneself. From its chaotic set to its lasting influence, Stripes is more than a comedy. It's a testament to taking risks and defying expectations. Bill Murray's journey from slacker to icon mirrors the film's own transformation into a beloved classic. So, as we toast Stripes, let's celebrate the misfits, the rebels, and the comedians who remind us to find humor in life's absurdity. Bill Murray's wild ride from chaos to comedy gold proves some legends are born from the unexpected. Love this? Drop a like, share your favorite Murray Zinger below, and hit subscribe. Next up, we're uncovering a hidden Hollywood gem. To the rebels who steal the show, here's to Murray, still smirking at the rules.